In this next video in the series, I'm showing you an L-shaped machine gun position. This is the variation done for a machine gun team. This is typically how you put a machine gun in, especially if it's tripod mounted. I do not have a tripod for this M60 training aid, so I'm simulating using sandbags. Now, we start off, we have our two-man type trench in the back, and then the side that the machine gun is fed on. The M60 is fed from the left-hand side. That side is where you dig a trench for the assistant gunner so that he can load belts into the weapon and also change out the barrels when they get hot. So the back side here, we're looking at two rifles, full-length rifles in length. The other side will extend just a little bit past the edge of the tripod, so that way the assistant gunner, when he needs to, can get in front of the gun to pull the barrel and put the new one on. Now, the firing table here, you dig that down just a little bit so that the top of the tripod is just over the surface of the ground, and then you put the machine gun on top of that. That firing table is where the majority of the brass and links will collect at. It's also where you can keep additional ammunition ready to go real quickly, some additional cartons with belts in them that the assistant gunner can grab and load the weapon with. They can also keep fragmentation grenades on the firing table also, so that the gunner or the assistant gunner can grab them quickly and toss them out in front of the position. Now, the depth of the position is armpit depth from the surface of the ground to the bottom. As you can see in the corner here, that is where the grenade sump is, at the base of the L. The reason it is in that position is because your machine gunner is going to be on this side. Your assistant gunner is going to be on that side of the weapon in that trench. No one should be back in that corner, so that's the safest location to put your grenade sump for the grenades to go off inside. The bottom of your trench obviously should slope to the grenade sump, so that if a grenade is tossed in, it rolls down into the sump and goes off in there. Now, if you're using a Russian manufactured or patterned machine gun, a lot of them are right-hand feeds. The belts come from the right-hand side of the weapon and the brass links get ejected on the left-hand side. Then your trench for the assistant gunner would be on the right side of the weapon. Now, you can modify this position to a U-shape for use with heavy machine guns. In that case, you have the firing table, which is in the center of the U, and you have a horseshoe trench going around it. That way the gun can be traversed all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Now, some notes for if you fire a .50 caliber from this type of position. Recommendations. First off, revet the sides of the firing table. So you want to put some type of plank, some type of sheet metal or something like that around there. You want to hold them in place using posts or pickets, because as you fire the weapon, those sides are going to loosen up and they're going to give way and fall into the trench. So you must revet them. Also, something that I've noticed from firing a .50 cal off a tripod from a ground position like this, when you fire them, the tripod will start to dig itself down into the ground little by little. It'll start pushing its way in. So what I started doing, and did do for the rest of my career after seeing it, I would dig my firing table a little bit deeper and I would line it with a layer of sandbags. I would then put the tripod on top of the sandbags, and I would use a few more sandbags on each leg of the tripod to hold it in place. When I did that and revetted the sides, The firing table was very stable. It did not have any problems. I did not have to change the position, did not have to reinforce any further. Now, your assistant gunner, his weapons will be right here in the front of his trench. He'll have his rifle. If he needs any anti-tank weapons, they'll be up there ready to go also. Any additional cans of ammunition will be kept along the wall behind him in his side of the trench, so he can just turn around quick, drop down, grab the can, open it up in there, maybe toss the can out, pull out the belts, connect them onto the gun. Now I'll give you an idea how much spoil was removed. As you see, the pile has gotten considerably larger. And even with those piles, I still filled 20 sandbags. I have one more video I want to do in this series, which I'm going to be doing immediately after this. I tried doing it yesterday, but I had a catastrophic failure with the trench, so I ended up having to clean it out this morning, remove the materials and all that, and change the order I was going to be doing this in. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and Militia movements, always remember, essayons.